The heavyweight match of psychology and persuasion. I've read both of these books 5 times, and in this video we're gonna compare each aspect of them head to head with full transparency and decide who's the winner. So I started with this because I believe this is the most important thing to consider. The 4-day laws of power covers a lot more topics like manipulation, seduction, doing things carefully, attracting attention, whereas how to win friends and influence people is more focused on relations and getting people to comply with you with ease. But they both share the same ultimate message: power. The definition of power is getting people to do what you want without hurting or forcing them. That's the very thing Dale Carnegie teaches in this book. Like here it says, making people glad to do what you want. Like the word power is on the title of the other book with like bold letters, but you have to consider this book is also about power. I'm sure that you're aware of the controversies surrounding the 4-day laws of power. It's immoral, it's evil, it's written for bad people, and I get it. Most of the book is narrated from the perspective of the aggressor, but I believe Robert Greene intentionally wrote it in this way to get more publicity and attention. To be super honest with you, like think about it, if he wrote it in a way like people do this to manipulate you, it's okay, but it's not compelling or as intriguing as it is now. He's literally practicing the law number 6 himself: court attention at all cost. So if you have that in mind, it would make you more open to read this book. How to Win Friends, on the other hand, is more focused on being liked by other people, seeing the world from their perspective, and most importantly, refraining our natural tendencies as humans that may not be aligned with our goal. Those were some big words. It essentially means that we humans have some common character traits that doesn't help us. Sorry, like condemning, arguing, not listening attentively. There are more, but you get the idea. And he goes over them and teaches us how to control them and use the tactics that he suggests to be a more likable human. So if I have to compare them, I would use the 48 laws as my shield to protect me from what other people are capable of doing, which is just mind-boggling, and use How to Win Friends and Influence People as a flower. I wanted to say sword, but that was a bit misleading. To learn how to deal with people and lead or guide them. Like if you're a leader of some sort or a teacher, this book is perfect for changing someone's behavior, and I really mean that. So who's the winner? Honestly, for me, it's hard to tell. Both are amazing and I really enjoyed them both a lot. And I tell you what, this is the only part that I will say both are winners, but I have to only choose one as a winner for the next part, so stay tuned. So, reading experience, I'm just gonna say it, this one, in my opinion. Like, I hate when YouTubers give half-assed answers or say a bunch of things that you can't get a conclusion from. But why I think this is better? Although it was written like 90 years ago, it uses a simpler way of putting things with simpler words. And don't get me wrong, 48 Laws of Power was structured beautifully and actually helped my vocabulary a lot. Like, English is not my first language, and I'm very grateful for that. But it's hard to compete with Dale Carnegie when it comes to that, to not boring the audience. Like, that is his whole expertise. Each chapter is short, like 6, 7, 8 pages, filled with stories. Like 70% of the book is, more than 70% of the book is filled with stories. And it's just entertaining. Like, there isn't anything more that I had to add to that. Just entertaining. So the winner of this part is this one. This one. I actually felt the need to add this part to the comparison because that's a big component of both of these books, the stories. 48 Laws stories are more from like 600 BC to early 1800s, like the French Revolution, Napoleon and that. Whereas How to Win Friends is like from early 1800s to like 1930, where Dale Carnegie lived his majority of his life. It's more contemporary, if you want to put it that way. So if you like to learn about history, definitely recommend 48 Laws. I learned a ton from it, from ancient China to ancient Rome, Italy in 1500s, Prussia, the German Empire, France, and everything. But if you want to have a bit more contemporary narrative, like, I actually don't remember him ever mentioning any stories that weren't around his time, besides like Lincoln and Benjamin Franklin or the Civil War. And also mostly American politics, business oriented. So to recap, history from all around the world and different scenarios, contemporary, American, and mostly business, day-to-day scenarios. So the winner is, actually it's very head to head, but for me it's 48 Laws. Like, I learned a ton from it. It built the foundation of my knowledge about the Western civilization. Like, I was 17 and when I read it, I was just mesmerized. When I first read the 48 Laws, my views about the world changed dramatically. I was naive and I got hit with the ugly truth of our reality. It changed my views a lot, but it didn't affect how I behaved that much, because I wasn't in a position to be benefited from the most of the things that this book suggests. I was just a 17-year-old boy. There weren't any power, like I didn't have any. But this book, on the other hand, literally on the other hand, every time that I read a new chapter, I became a different person. And I'm not exaggerating. It was so relatable that I was fascinated of how quickly it changed my behavior. Like, I had never experienced such a fast shift in my perspective and my behavior after reading a book. And believe me, I've read a lot of books. And I believe this is the indicator of how Dale Carnegie practiced what he preaches. He changed my behavior. This shows that he knows what he's talking about. So in my opinion, How to Win Friends and Influence People wins this part simply because it's easy to implement and it talks about things that can happen to anyone on a day-to-day basis. So before moving forward, this is just my opinion after reading them thoroughly for 5 times. They are same in the message, but different in usage. Let me say that again. Same in message, but different in usage. The ultimate message of both of these books is getting what you want. And as I said before, use 48 Laws as your shield. And please read it. Don't be discouraged by the things you hear on the media. And if you look at it from the perspective of the person who's the victim of the things that are said in the book, it can open your eyes and essentially prevents some of the misfortunes that may happen. And about How to Win Friends and Influence People, you've got to read this. Like, it saves you so much headache and frustration by just looking at things differently. Everyone should be required to read this book. It makes your life so much easier. But if you have to read only one of them, read this one. It's shorter, easier to implement, and just more relatable to most of the people. If you liked our content, feel free to like and subscribe and comment your ideas or your criticism. I will personally answer them and try to have a nice conversation with you down there. My name is Saint Rukshani. Thanks for watching to the end. See you in the next video. For now, goodbye.